Finance keys. Your first paycheck can create two opposite feelings at once: relief and confusion. Relief because money finally landed. Confusion because you suddenly have to decide what each part of it is supposed to do. And nobody really teaches that moment in a practical way. The first paycheck is important not because it is huge, but because it sets patterns. If the money arrives and instantly disappears into random spending, that pattern gets easier to repeat. If the money arrives and gets organized, even in a basic way, you build a system early. The amount matters less than the behavior you attach to it. A first paycheck usually has several jobs before it ever feels spendable. Some of it may already belong to rent, transportation, food, phone service, or family obligations. Some may need to cover setup costs you have been postponing, like work clothes, gas, or catching up on a bill. Some should become a small buffer, so every later paycheck does not arrive under pressure. That's why the right question is not, how much can I spend? It is, what does this paycheck need to stabilize first? If you answer that question honestly, the money starts building a base instead of just creating a temporary high. Another important detail is that your take-home pay may not match the number you expected from hourly pay or salary math. Taxes, insurance, retirement deductions, and timing differences can make the deposit look different from the headline number in your head. That's normal, but it means your first move should be understanding the paycheck, not spending it emotionally. Imagine Luis starts his first full-time job and sees more money in his account than he is used to. He wants to celebrate, replace his phone, and start living a little bigger. None of that is wrong by itself. The problem is that he has not yet built a map. A car payment is due next week, rent is around the corner, and he still owes a little on a utility bill from the month before. If Luis spends the first paycheck mainly to feel relief, the next paycheck may already arrive under pressure. But if he uses the first paycheck to catch up, create a buffer, and define what is actually available for lifestyle spending, the second paycheck feels different. It starts supporting momentum instead of rescuing chaos. Picture your first paycheck as water hitting dry ground. If the ground is cracked and unplanned, the water runs everywhere. If there are channels already marked, the same water starts filling the places that matter most. The paycheck is not just money, it is flow. Your system decides where the flow goes. Another way to see it is like moving into an empty apartment. The first boxes should contain essentials, not decorations. The essentials make the space livable. Money works the same way in the beginning. Read the paycheck stub and understand your take-home amount before making plans. Second, list the next 2 weeks of unavoidable expenses, so the money has a reality-based map. Third, set aside a small buffer immediately, even if it is modest. Fourth, give yourself one intentional amount for enjoyment instead of spending reactively. Fifth, decide one repeating rule for future paychecks, like saving a fixed amount or reviewing your checking account on payday. Your first paycheck does not need to prove that you have everything figured out. It just needs to become the beginning of a better pattern. Ask yourself, if this paycheck were the start of my money system, instead of a break from stress, what would I do with it first? That question can change the next year more than one impulsive purchase ever will. If this helped, subscribe to Finance Keys, leave one first paycheck question you want answered next, and share this with someone starting work and trying not to waste the learning curve.